Right, I've mentioned in one of the earlier videos that I'd been looking for some time for some 10-foot rods, because some of these rivers that we fish, you've got a lot of trees, as in this situation, above your head, and I just find a 12-foot rod sometimes not very good from that point of view. You playing the fish and not concentrating, and next thing you know, rod tips up there. Last year, I think I mentioned, and we might have done a review on it, I ended it with some Daewoo Black Widows that I used, and to be fair, they landed me pike in very tight swims up to about, I think, 19.5 pound on them. Not a problem from that point of view. Where I've been having a problem with these shorter rods is finding something that's got enough backbone to get out. I mean, you've seen from the vids that I use some quite big dead baits, you know, full blueies, full lampreys, that type of thing, and I just found that all the rods I've used so far, they really just don't have that backbone for some of the bigger rivers that we fish to be able to get those baits into Middle River and out over the other side. These came out sort of 12 months or so ago. It's basically the Savage Gear MPP2, and it's called a 10-foot baitfish. It's a 3-pound test curb. The twos you can tell because they have the orange bands on them. It's the whole new range. Had it sort of got them at the beginning of this season, 2 of them. I've teamed them up with these Daewoo Black Widow BR5000s, which I think I've done a review on before. The usual thing, you know, 65-pound braid and the usual sort of setup with the Pike Pro gear. And I have to say, I've been using them since the beginning of the season. Absolutely brilliant, superb rod. I've really not used anything else. Some of the bigger rivers we've been fishing, I mean, we were in a pike match on the Ouse the other week, and it was a particularly wide stretch of the Ouse, and I was trying to get across to the other side where I would normally have fished, and with the 12-foot Black Widows that I normally use, the pike rods, I'd have got across there. I was just struggling a little bit. I could get them into the channel and I could get them part of the way across and they were fine, but from the point of view of an average sized river, I have to say these are now my go-to rod. They've got a real good backbone. They'll chuck out a full lamprey or a full bluey. You know, full lampreys, as I say, chuck them out no problem. Big weights, because sometimes when we're fishing these rivers in flood, you know, we'll have up to a 7-ounce weight on them, and it's brilliant. I think they've been probably developed for boat fishing by Savage Gear, because they don't normally do baitfish rods, but you know, I have to say it's the only rod I've used so far this season. If I was fishing a reservoir from the bank, or I was fishing you know, like the big Ouse that we fish, and I was wanting to fish middle channel or further across, I would probably use my 12-footers. But for an average sized river, you know, like the Wharf, that type of thing, absolutely superb. As I say, don't have the issue with the trees above. You can cast out underneath. There's plenty of backbone in them. They've landed me some good fish. I've got to say, for what I bought them for, I'd give them 10 out of 10. The only limitation, as I say, is if you're fishing a reservoir or a big water where you really want to power it out, then you're going to need to go back to a 12-foot rod, but that's quite obvious. But you know, as far as it goes, Savage Gear MPP2, 10-foot, 3-pound test curve, and it's called a Baitfish. Can't recommend it high enough. It's been a fantastic rod so far. I've got the pair of them teamed up like this and going to be using them. As I say, the only time I won't use them is when we're on the big rivers and when we're also out and about. You know, maybe doing the odd reservoir, but we don't fish that reservoirs too much. But yep, 10 out of 10 from me.